So Dickinson and slavery is looking at our college's connection to slavery from the founding era to the Civil War era and the post-Civil War era. So among our founders at Dickinson, we had a lot of slave owners. About 60% of the founding board in 1783 owned slaves. And then after the Civil War, we have a very different legacy where a lot of former slaves end up working at Dickinson.
A number of schools across the country have been looking at their ties to slavery. It's something that has become a priority for many colleges and universities. And when I was teaching a class on slavery 2 years ago, I wanted to focus on Dickinson's ties to slavery. I learned so much that it became the genesis for this exhibit.
Yeah, I've learned that a lot of free black men actually worked here at Dickinson as janitors and security officers. And they were not only free blacks, but they also were ex-slaves or former slaves. And after they obtained their freedom, they came here to work. And they contributed a lot to Dickinson. One man in particular, Robert Young, helped integrate Dickinson in the 1800s.
I personally was looking into Noah Pinckney, who was a former slave. He was enslaved in Frederick, Maryland, and he fought in the Union Army, and then he lived in Carlisle after the Civil War ended. And he was such an important figure on Dickinson's campus. He would come and sell food outside of East College, and the students just loved him.
So one of the things we found was a 1991 memo that described the naming of Cooper Hall, one of the dorms here on campus. And it was named after someone who was later becomes a very famous pro-slavery theorist in South Carolina.
It just makes you think, I guess, when there's a building that's named after him, and it's a question of what we're celebrating. And I think that maybe naming the building after somebody like Robert Young, who fought to integrate the school, those are values that we should be celebrating today.
Something we're really focusing on is hopefully putting some form of plaque to commemorate individuals, and I think that makes a substantial difference. I think especially for marginalized communities and minority communities at Dickinson, to see that there's a space to remember them, I think is really beneficial and worthwhile.
While it's okay to talk about John Dickinson, talk about Ben Rush, it's also important to realize that other people's narratives were going on, and just because they saw the world one way doesn't mean that's the only way the world was seen at that time.
There's a whole lot more to come. We're asking questions, we're trying to raise awareness, but the next step is about the community and the campus. How do you want to commemorate all of this new information? Where does it fit in the fabric of our memory? And that's an open question that's going to take several years to resolve.
So before we get started tonight, I just wanted to introduce you to